On the night of Saturday the 17th of June, billionaire explorer Hamish Harding took to Instagram to reveal he was among the crew of a submersible vessel on their way to explore the Titanic wreckage. "I am proud to finally announce that I joined OceanGate Expeditions for their RMS Titanic mission as a mission specialist on the sub going down to the Titanic," Mr. Harding wrote. Due to the worst winter in Newfoundland in 40 years, this mission is likely to be the first and only manned mission to the Titanic in 2023. "A weather window has just opened up and we are going to attempt a dive tomorrow," Mr. Harding said. The 5-member crew, which included French diver Paul-Henri Nargeolet, Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood, and his son Suleiman Dawood, had set sail from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, on Friday. They were planning to start their 4,000 meters descent to the most famous shipwreck in the world at 4 a.m. on Sunday morning. "Until then, we have a lot of preparations and briefings to do," he said. About 105 minutes into the trip, the Titansubmersible stopped communicating with its mothership. But just 5 days later, it would be confirmed that the submarine suffered a catastrophic implosion, and all 5 people on board were confirmed to have died. Sunday, the 18th of June. The Polar Prince icebreaker sailed around 900 miles off the coast of Newfoundland, where it set anchor. The 5-person crew was dropped into the ocean in their 22-foot-long submersible vessel, the Titan. Around 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time the submersible was launched, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. 1 hour and 45 minutes later, the vessel lost contact with the Polar Prince. The vessel was programmed to send out a ping every 15 minutes to indicate its location. The final signal was sent at around 10 a.m. Eastern Time. The Titan typically takes around 2 hours to reach the Titanic wreckage, located about 4,000 meters beneath the ocean. According to the Coast Guard, the sub was meant to surface at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When it failed to resurface, the crew raised the alarm with authorities at 5:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At a press conference in Boston, Captain Jamie Frederick, of the U.S. Coast Guard, said, "On Sunday, the Coordination Command Center in Boston received a report from the Canadian expedition vessel Polar Prince of an overdue 21-foot submarine, Titan, with 5 people on board. The Titan was attempting to dive on the wreck of the Titanic, approximately 900 miles east of Cape Cod and 400 miles south of St. John's, Newfoundland. Approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes into the scheduled dive, the Polar Prince lost all communication with the Titan. Polar Prince conducted an initial search and then requested Coast Guard assistance. The U.S. Coast Guard in Boston assumed the responsibility of search and rescue mission coordinator and immediately launched search assets. Since Sunday, the Coast Guard has coordinated search efforts with the U.S. and Canadian Coast Guard, Air National Guard aircraft, and the Polar Prince, the Titan's mothership, which has searched a combined 7,600 square miles, an area larger than the state of Connecticut. The vessel was carrying enough oxygen for the crew for 96 hours, making the rescue mission a race against time to reach the vessel. Monday, the 19th of June. On Monday morning, authorities revealed the Titan was missing and a large-scale search operation had been launched. The U.S. Coast Guard revealed they had begun a sweeping search of a 5,000 sqm area about 900 miles off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The Canadian Coast Guard said it too is taking part in the effort with fixed-wing aircraft and a ship. At 1:30 p.m., the U.S. Coast Guard's Northeast tweeted that a C-130 Hercules reconnaissance aircraft had been dispatched to search for the Titan. P-8 Poseidon aircraft with underwater sonar capabilities joined the search on Monday afternoon. It is a remote area and it is a challenge to conduct a search in that remote area, but we are deploying all available assets to make sure we can locate the craft and rescue the people on board, U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Mauger told reporters during a briefing at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday. Submersible craft including an unmanned U.S. Navy Curve 21, which can reach a depth of 4,000 meters, also joined the search. The Polar Prince and 106 Rescue Wing continued to conduct surface searches throughout Monday evening. Wednesday, the 21st of June. According to internal email updates sent to Department of Homeland Security leadership, the Canadian aircraft detected banging noises every 30 minutes. RCC Halifax launched a P-8 Poseidon, which has underwater detection capabilities from the air. The P-8 deployed sonobuoys, which reported a contact in a position close to the distress position. The P-8 heard banging sounds in the area every 30 minutes. 4 hours later, additional sonar was deployed and banging was still heard. The U.S. Coast Guard on Wednesday morning said, Canadian P-3 aircraft detected underwater noises in the search area. As a result, ROV operations were relocated in an attempt to explore the origin of the noises. Those ROV searches have yielded negative results but continue. Additionally, the data from the P-3 aircraft has been shared with our U.S. Navy experts for further analysis, which will be considered in future search plans. In an upbeat statement, President Richard Garriott DeCayo of the Explorers Club said, "There is cause for hope that based on data from the field, we understand that likely signs of life have been detected at the site. They precisely understand the experienced personnel and tech we can help deploy. We believe they are doing everything possible with all the resources they have." Mr. Garriott DeCayo said they were ready to provide the UK-based Magellan's remotely operated vehicle that is certified to travel as deep as 6,000 meters. In a press conference on Wednesday, the 21st of June, afternoon, Captain Jamie Frederick of the U.S. Coast Guard assured people that authorities were doing everything possible to locate the missing vessel as the search intensified with more technology. Mr. Frederick confirmed that the vessel had less than 24 hours of oxygen supply left. He also acknowledged that officials do not know if crews will be able to rescue the people on board even if they do manage to find the sub before the oxygen runs out. The first photo emerged of the Deep Energy Rescue Ship, which carries 2 remote-operated vehicles capable of operating to a depth of 3,000 meters, arriving at the search site on Wednesday. The John Cabot, which has side-scanning sonar capabilities. The Scandi Vinland and the Atlantic Merlin also arrived at the search site on Wednesday morning, the U.S. Coast Guard said in a Twitter post. The Royal Canadian Navy also deployed HMCS Glace Bay, which carries a medical team specializing in dive medicine. On board the ship is a 6-person mobile hyperbaric recompression chamber that can be used to treat or prevent decompression sickness. However, the French ship Atalante, carrying the Victor 6000 underwater, RAV, and winch, the only one capable of reaching the Titanic wreck 4,000 meters under the ocean surface, had a narrow window of time to conduct rescue operations as it only reached the search site on Wednesday night. Thursday, the 22nd of June. The air supply on the missing Titanic tourist submarine came down to its last hours, as rescue workers continued their increasingly desperate search for the 5 stranded passengers. A U.S. Coast Guard spokesperson told The Independent they expect the vessel, named Titan, would run out of oxygen at 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, on Thursday. This estimated time is based on the number of hours of oxygen the craft had for the 5 people on board 96 and the time it submerged 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, on Sunday. Soon after that deadline passed, officials announced a debris field had been found in the search area. 5 crew members were later confirmed to have died after the Titanic tourist submarine suffered a catastrophic explosion. The U.S. Coast Guard offered its deepest condolences to the families after the tail cone of the vessel was found around 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic wreck. In a press conference, Rear Admiral John Mauger said further debris was consistent with a catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. In a statement, OceanGate Expeditions said, "These men were true explorers who shared a distinct spirit of adventure and a deep passion for exploring and protecting the world's oceans. Our hearts are with these 5 souls and every member of their families during this tragic time. We grieve the loss of life and joy they brought to everyone they knew." Asked what the prospects of recovering crew members were, Rear Admiral Mauger said, "This is an incredibly unforgiving environment down there on the seafloor and the debris is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel. And so we'll continue to work and continue to search the area down there, but I don't have an answer for prospects at this time." Rear Admiral Mauger also said there did not appear to be any connection between the underwater noises detected during the search and rescue mission and the location of the debris on the seafloor. This was a catastrophic implosion of the vessel which would have generated a significant broadband sound down there that the sonar buoys would have picked up, he said. The 28th of June. The search for what remains of the Titansubmersible and its passengers concluded, as human remains were found on the seafloor and debris from the vessel returned to dry land in Canada. Large pieces of wreckage from the Titan was seen being transported to St. John's Harbor in Newfoundland on Wednesday by the Horizon Arctic ship, where they were unloaded by a crane. The Coast Guard announced just hours later that presumed human remains had been found on the seafloor. They will now be formally analyzed. While the search has ended, investigations will continue for some time into what caused the catastrophic implosion of the sub, killing all 5 passengers on board.